And now, from the Cave of Wonders and recorded live in the presence of gods, welcome to the Rain Man Show.
Your Honor, please!
All right, welcome everybody to the Rain Man Show. Tuesday, closing in on the end of the month already. Halloween is upon us, which means Thanksgiving is just around the corner, then Christmas, then a new year.
Good Lord.
Can you believe that, Thomas? We're already here.
Dude, it happened so fast this year. It's insane. And
Yeah.
I really is that when you get older, you feel like it's just, you wake up and it's Christmas again.
Well, yeah, the days are just ticking by. Like, when you're a kid, things couldn't go by any slower.
Right. And now it's just, what the fuck happened to the week?
Yeah.
The month? And then you have to go back to family.
Yes, and it does a number on your psyche.
Yeah.
You start getting a little depressed sometimes. Like, wow, it's going to be 2019.
Fuck.
Yeah. It changes a lot of things as you grow older as well. Speaking of that, I noticed that I'm getting some gray hair now around my penis area.
The gray pube.
Luckily, I shave.
So you don't know that it's
So
there.
I didn't notice it, and I let a couple extra days go by, and I said, is there a little bit of gray right there? Just a tiny, tiny bit? And I immediately started crying. I went to the corner, and I shamed myself.
Have you had gray hairs in other places?
Yes.
Okay,
I have a few pop up on my chest, a few pop up on my beard. I have the most right here in the beard area, the chin. But seeing it down by the penile area,
it was different.
yeah. I came face to face with my own mortality.
Your dick mortality.
My dick mortality. Exactly. Do penises get wrinkles? You know how, like, when you get older, you get wrinkles and you get better looking a lot of the times. You know, you got George Clooney. He looks rugged.
I mean,
does the same thing apply to a man's penis? Does a man's penis get prettier as he gets older?
No.
Andrew looks like he has the question or a solution.
Or he wants pics.
I was going to say, we'll just get photos of George Clooney's penis, and then we'll have the answer.
And how do you suppose we are going to get that?
Oh.
In the midst of a Me
Bobby's
Too
got
era,
everything.
we're going to call George Clooney up and be like, hey, yo, homie, hook us up with some dick pics, bro.
We'll get Detective Bobby on the case.
He might be able to pull something
George Clooney.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he's Googling.
Dick pic.
Yeah. All right.
That's on your internet history.
Andrew is in the studio today. Hello, Andrew.
Hello.
And also Tony. Hello.
Hello?
All right. So we are finally, at last, at full strength.
I know, it's weird. It's been like a month.
First show in about 4 weeks where everybody was in the room together, which I'm happy that doesn't happen very often. Most of the time we're all here.
Right.
And I think we can let all of our listeners know that that's not going to be a habit. Most of us, I think we're all going to be here, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had some scheduling issues and vacation screwed things up. And just, unfortunately, this last month, life got in the way, I think.
Yeah. The band's not breaking up.
No, it's definitely not the normal plan.
Yeah, we're not the Beatles.
God,
although if there was somebody in this group that would break us up, it would be because Andrew's our very own John Lennon, and he's actually engaged or dating a woman much like Yoko Ono. Very militant, very controlling of Andrew, and doesn't like his friends.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how Yoko Ono was. I don't like that Paul McCartney.
Which is you, naturally.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So then Tony and I are Ringo and the other guy.
Yeah. Well, you're Ringo, and Tony's the other guy that no one remembers.
George Harrison.
George Harrison.
There we go.
And
I got you, Tony.
Sad thing is George Harrison's actually pretty damn good. It's Ringo who's pretty talentless.
Oh.
All right.
Damn it.
Yeah. I'll bestow upon you the John Lennon title if that's what you want.
No, I get shot in the face then.
Can I be Ringo?
What is this, trading card game? Shut up! I'll throw another pencil at you in a moment. Yes.
Look at the Nerf gun. The in-check Andrew Nerf gun.
Can I turn your mic off, please?
Sure.
All right. So there was an idiot at the gym.
Fantastic.
Yes.
There usually is.
Yeah. Andrew made me remember this story. Keyword on idiot. this guy was doing a full-on dance routine while he's working out. And I have told the story before about there will be miscellaneous characters dancing while they're working out. But they usually just do like a body move. They do maybe a little like Tupac, they're doing a little sway with the hands, trying to slap an ass that's not there.
While they're listening to music.
Yeah. And it tends to be more of the urban individuals, whether, black, Hispanic, okay.
Colored.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Atta girl.
Yes. Raina's also here today. If you pledge to our Patreon, you too can be just like Raina
and yell colored on
Yes.
and yell racist remarks randomly.
Just like your heroes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy was Asian, and I was so embarrassed for him. I don't know what's going through their minds. Like, do they think they're cool and people are checking them out, or are they completely consumed with themselves? In a vain kind of way, that there is no one else around them, that they're the center of their own universe. Because this guy, oh, wow, look at me. Someone's very eager. Someone's calling the studio line. I want to win tickets. No, so this guy was dancing. Full on dance routine. And I'm not talking a little twist and a turn. He's doing a full on Backstreet Boy type video. He's doing they do the hand gestures. They do that little hand movement. He points.
Yeah.
He's doing the little shoulder shrug and moving his hand across. He's actually performing.
You said this guy was Asian?
He's an Asian gentleman.
Maybe he's doing karate moves.
That wasn't karate moves. He was being a douche. How do you get to a point in your life where you're just going to do full on dance moves as if you were performing for a music video? I mean, Thomas, we had you 7 beers in and you would even do more than a little like hunch over dance when we were at the Supernatural convention a couple years back.
Right.
And you were like, what, 6-7 beers in and we still couldn't get you to budge?
That. Yeah.
There was a chick in front of you, semi-cute, who wanted you to shake your thing on her, and you're still just kind of just strutting.
Yep.
Treebeard just lurking over Frodo. That's what it looked like.
She was short.
Yeah.
You either have to be, I guess, blitzed or completely not give a fuck. Like, there's a difference between, I guess, that
I just don't understand the mentality.
And arrogance.
I don't even think that's confidence. I think there's a little bit of vanity and self-centeredness. It's like,
kind of a dude.
I'm the center of my universe. I don't even care what anybody thinks. I'm going to tap dance and twirl about the gym in between every set. It wasn't just a small little 30-second routine he did. It was, I'm going to work out, pull-ups, and quick biceps, and then I'm going to do a 3-minute dance routine. And not in designated areas, because in gyms, there are certain designated areas where you can do those things. You can go into the dance studio.
Right.
You can go into the aerobic studio. He's dancing around the freeway area.
With all the mirrors so you can all watch his glory.
Yeah, I want him to try to tap dance like that at a prison gym. Get his ass kicked. Am I just violent? Because I wanted to kill him.
Yes.
I actually wouldn't have minded if I ran him over by accident. Is that mean?
Just as you helped me feel better about being a shitty person.
Mm-hmm. When did I do that?
When I said I didn't care about the guy's sob story.
Right.
I completely understand where you're like, this guy's being a prick and he's doing it in front of an area where everyone needs access to the weights. If you wanted to do that, there is designated areas. Get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you're a bad person for that. Maybe a little violent, but who cares?
Well, you know what? I think my violence is warranted because
he was in the way.
He was annoying. And he's worthy of my wrath. But it's not just that. It's like a buildup of things. I'm telling you, Thomas, I just need to leave this gym, but it takes too much effort to cancel.
Really?
It does. It takes a lot of effort to cancel. I don't like to talk to people, so then I'm going to have to sit there and talk to the lady. She's going to ask me why I want to cancel. And because I'm truthful, I'm just going to tell her. And I don't want to be that truthful.
There's this guy dancing.
I don't have time. There's people laying down in the gym. This is like a circus. There's 3 or 4 people just laying in the middle of the gym stretching. Laying down. There's one guy that uses a vibrator on one of his clients' backs. There's an actual trainer that he uses a drill on his client's back to kind of snap out knots, and it looks like a sexual device. Everybody laughs when he turns it on, and yet this trainer and this client are
going at it, completely unaware.
Do you have his card?
Oh, Jesus.
You want to have a guy put a dildo device in your private parts?
I just want a massage.
Does that sound like a good time?
I mean, it doesn't sound like a bad time.
Yeah. Are you going to be the guy that looks for the male good-looking masseuse because they're stronger, right? Because they have better, stronger hands.
I've actually been thinking about this. I need to go to a masseuse here pretty badly pretty soon. And I'm pretty certain I'm going to go with a guy because of the stronger hands.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Nice tight grip on your dick.
Firm.
Yeah. So you missed the last live show this past Friday, Andrew.
I did.
Because you had work. Mm-hmm. But you had also mentioned on Facebook, and this was a debate on the show. You had mentioned on Facebook that you were looking for a potential spot to protest Trump's visit here in the Valley in Phoenix.
That is correct.
How did that end up going? Did you find a spot?
No, there weren't any published protests. It seems like Trump's visit was kind of like a surprise to a lot of people.
Even though it was announced on the news? Yeah, definitely a surprise.
Sure.
Definitely a surprise.
Absolutely, 100%.
Fake news?
A huge fake news, a huge surprise.
It was a secret, Thomas.
Yep.
It was announced internationally.
Super secret.
That he would be visiting Phoenix on Friday night.
I didn't know that he was going to be there until he touched down at Mesa Gateway Airport.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
So if I could find a protest, I was going to call in sick at work and tell you guys to go pound sand and then just go protest Donald Trump.
Shit.
I would have let you guys know, of course, but I really wanted to see if there were some counter actions going on.
What made you decide that you were going to protest Trump? I'm very curious because you don't really seem like the kind of guy that would really care to protest the president. Do you know what I mean by that? Thomas, do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. The idea that Andrew doesn't seem, he may have opinions.
Cunt is such a just fantastic word.
Doesn't exactly sound like a guy against Trump.
I mean, he doesn't really sound like the type of people that would be anti-Trump, right?
Right.
I'm going to call that person a cunt.
I mean, I could be wrong, right?
I don't think you are.
You don't think I'm wrong? He just doesn't sound like a type of guy that would really be passionately against Trump.
She's a dumb cunt. Oh, this is great.
So it shocked us that you were posting that because we're like,
you guys really thought I was a Trumper?
No, I don't think you're a Trumper.
Okay.
I think that you're a guy who is a little into yourself and you don't really have time to care about anything else. And also you let the C word fly like it ain't no thing.
Yeah.
You just don't seem like a guy that would spend his Friday night protesting a president that you don't really have a bone to pick with.
Of your own volition, at least.
He won the election through illegitimate means. I believe that. And
Really?
So truly
you don't believe in the Electoral College?
I don't think.
Is that a myth?
No, the Electoral College is there, but the will of the people, I feel, is...
The will of the people was faked.
As the average citizens, I feel like the power...
Much like your like for females, it was faked.
Correct.
Okay.
Sounds like a bunch of locker room
if I
talk.
could do something... What was that?
What, me?
Yes.
That sounds like a bunch of locker room talk.
You know what? It very well could be, right? I'm not as informed on these subjects as I should be.
Well, then that's why you shouldn't protest somebody. If you don't have the knowledge to go after somebody, then why would you choose to protest someone that you don't even really know what he's about? I'm not saying...
This is a constantly evolving...
I'm not saying he's not worthy of being protested against. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you don't have a fight in the game. Like, what is...
He's not doing anything to me directly, and that's not really the point.
What has he done to anybody you know? Or care about, or love?
Just immediately the ban on transgenders serving in the military, or what have you.
That was announced yesterday. The new transgender thing. Oh, you're talking about the military one?
The military one.
Okay.
The one from before.
And you have a lot of transgender fans?
I don't have a lot of fans, no, but I respect my fellow humans.
Do you?
I was waiting for the drop there.
Yeah.
No, I respect people.
Cunt is such a just fantastic word.
It truly is. And I will call the president a cunt to his face. Absolutely.
Andrew the Enigma.
Yeah. So is that something you do? Do you randomly go protest on a Friday night? I'm bored. This evening, you want to protest?
I don't randomly go protest. If there's
with your little, what do you guys smoke? Clove cigarettes? I'm bored this evening, honey. You want to go protest? I got out of work early today. Should we protest tonight, honey? Like, how does the conversation start?
If I have a lot of politically active friends who are on the pulse, I know it's hard to think that I have friends, but I have at least acquaintances.
Do these friends know you speak certain ways?
Yes.
They
100%. The whole.
I'm going to call that person a cunt.
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. And they are constantly posting about political events, protests, rallies.
Mm-hmm. So you decided to get involved.
Yes. Because I think it's important to be involved in local politics.
You realize that protesting shouldn't be like baseball. It's not supposed to be America's favorite pastime. It's not something you do just because.
I'm not saying it's just because. I'm not showing up to a rally because I think, we should unban ice cream or something. No, I'm showing up there because I believe in the cause.
Yeah. Andrew's a regular little activist. Did you know he was an activist?
I didn't,
He's a little activist.
I was really upset when
Andrew Luther King. He's a regular Andrew Luther King.
I'm not Tony in blackface. You can't do that.
Bro's a spindler. He refuses to stand up.
He refuses a lot of things.
But he goes to the back of the bus.
You're like Andrew Fonda.
Jesus.
Thomas, Spindler lives matter.
The one?
Go ahead, continue. That's
it.
Your hobby.
It's not a hobby. It's not like it's not
what things you do on a Friday night for $500, Alex? Hobbies.
Like, I have nothing against protesting if you are passionately involved.
And how do you think you become passionately involved? You got to start somewhere.
Not on a Friday night because you have nothing else to do.
Fucking what?
You
I
do
don't have
it.
Shit to do anyway.
You are like those people who should be working. Instead, they're out protesting at 9 a.m. I don't like that, but at least they have the fucking integrity to say, fuck it, I'm going to get fired from work and go protest. You are like, hey, I have nothing better to do, honey. I don't want to
I didn't say I didn't have anything better to do. I was going to call out of work to go downtown.
Andrew Farrow over there.
Yep. Although for future reference, you may not want to call out of work and then post about where you're going to be.
No, my boss was totally for it.
This is the people screaming when he accidentally pulled his penis out at the protest. Spindler X.
God damn.
Andrew Angelo.
No, my boss was totally going to give me the night off if I could find an event to go to.
Yeah. If someone asked me if they can have the night off to protest, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
You're going to have the rest of the nights forever off.
My boss is real cool.
Yeah, I'd be like Bud from Kill Bill. I'm like, here's your name on the schedule. Your name's no longer on the schedule. Hey, do you work on Wednesday?
Not anymore.
Andrew, do you work on Wednesday?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
What? Hold on, no, double check.
What about Thursday? Do you work on Thursday?
Yeah, every Thursday for the last 2.5 years.
No. That says Andrew Farrow. Yeah. I was hoping that he did go protest because if I saw him pop up, I would have canceled the show and I would have taken the show mobile on my phone and you and I would have went to the protest and just snuck up on him and captured everything he does.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
Shit.
Day in the life
I was hoping he did. All right, so we're going to be continuing our Halloween penis horror stories with stories from Andrew Spindler. If you have not had enough of him yet, by the end of the show, you will. Last show, we heard stories from Thomas Cowley, horrific stories. And now we will be treated to a disgusting and horrific tale taken from the journals of Andrew Ed Gein Spindler. And we are going to be doing a giveaway again later in the show.
Okay.
Anybody who guesses the right story, there'll be 4 stories. Only one is true. If you get it correctly, you will win an annual membership to the DC Universe app.
Not bad.
That's good. And the number to call is 818-394-0279. Do not call yet. Call when I say, if you guys so dare. And also because Raina's on the air already. She's on the show with us. She's already an automatic contender. She's in it.
Okay.
So what's your strategy for this show, Raina? Do you have a strategy to win that DC Universe app? Because last show, both you and AV failed because you guys did not want to, you guys could not accept the fact that Thomas's penis shrunk down to an unnatural size.
Yeah, that was unfair. That was, that embellishment was.
Listen, it was very fair. It was very fair. I exaggerated a bit, but Thomas, be honest, your email you wrote to me made me cringe.
Yeah.
And it made you cringe. He actually prefaced the email with, I have to warn you, bro, this is TMI.
I did, yeah.
So I may have changed some of the verbiage just a bit.
You embellished the verbiage, but the general consensus of what happened is still true.
Yeah. Yes. And you said your penis shrunk to a very embarrassing size.
To a size I was not a fan of.
And I have to think 6.9 isn't the biggest of dicks. So if you shrunk, then you're going to be around a thimble, right?
Not that bad.
No, come on, thimble.
Not that bad.
Raina, so what's your strategy? Do you have
So that's my
a
strategy,
new strategy
now, to expect your embellishments, or that for you to essentially trick us.
Make up lies.
And to utilize what I know about Andrew already.
Yes. See, that's a good strategy.
So any of them involving women is automatically the lie.
That was what I said earlier on the pre-show.
Okay. All right. So because that's your strategy, Thomas, because you don't know the real story either.
I don't.
I will give people this hint. I purposely left out any stories involving the opposite sex.
Okay.
Because I think it would be too easy.
Too easy to guess.
It would be way too easy to guess.
Interesting.
So all the stories are similar, but Raina has, I think, a good plan, because I feel like if you stick to the idea that you know Andrew, you have to remember and remind yourself of who Andrew is and go through all the Vortex style stories. And I feel like if you truly think about it, much like a chess game, Thomas, I feel like people can probably find the right.
I think so.
The right one.
It's not, you don't make it that hard deliberately. I think you just have to know the host and who's telling the secret or whose it is.
Right.
And that'll
now
help
that
you.
people know I embellish, I think we're now on even playing field.
And he does not embellish to flatter.
No. Why would I?
It wouldn't be a horror story.
No. Unless I said it was a monster cock of enormous proportions.
Well, Ryan's not here to embellish his own fake stories.
All right. So meet Tony Bark, who identifies as a dog and wears a puppy mask that looks like Avengers Iron Man.
None of what you said makes sense.
This whole concept doesn't make sense.
This is a horrible mashup.
Now, this story, this may be a little bit of a hot button topic here. But, I think it's no secret, Thomas, that we're we are very accepting. And it's a given that we accept transgenders and they should be allowed to choose their gender. I mean, I don't give a shit if you want to be a man, if you want to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I can get behind the idea of
being a dog.
I don't understand that. I can't wrap my mind around that. And I don't think that's healthy.
No.
I think that's psychological problems. That's not being born a certain way and saying, hey, you know what? I feel like I should be a man or a woman. That would be normal. But if you wake up one morning and be like, I feel like I should be an alligator. I feel like I should be a squirrel, then guess what? That's not normal.
No, I think the human element is where we draw the line on normal.
Identify as a human. A human. If you don't want to identify as anything either, like you just want it, what's it called, binary? Is that what it is?
Non-binary.
Non-binary? Okay, fine. I think that's a little
You're
silly.
Still a human, though.
I think that's a little silly, but okay, who am I to challenge you on who you want to be? Here's some audio. The video is also here. It's very disturbing. I'll have Andrew post it in the Invasion Force a little bit later. But the story goes on to tell a very strange story about a young man who identifies as a dog. He was once a woman, then realized he really is a dog. So I think this person probably might go into the category of just being confused.
Imagine if the easiest way to delight your wife is you just throw a ball across the room. Relationships wouldn't fail anymore if that's all you had to do.
Logic, a logical issue, number one. Imagine if you can make your significant other simply happy by throwing a ball. Get a dog. Get a dog. Less problems.
They got a dog.
Here's Tony. Just listen. Just listen. It's too long. I can't take it. A human pup known as Tony Bark says identifying as a dog has brought him closer to his partner. Tony McGinn, whose chosen name is similar to Iron Man hero Tony Stark, has been into animal role play his entire life. This goes farther past animal role play. I mean, Andrew, you're a weirdo.
Yep.
And you can get into stuff like this, but this is more than just simply a role-playing sex fetish.
This has more layers to it than a fucking onion.
Yeah.
So Tony is a transgender female to male who is also a trans species who partakes in pet play in a non-sexual fashion
of a additionally fictional character.
Correct.
Who's from the planet Vulcan. Correct?
I lost track.
Look at Andrew. Andrew's really trying to read if that's real in the article. He's like, let me check really fast. Is that a real thing?
No, it's Iron Man.
So you know of this story, Andrew?
This has actually shown up once before a while ago.
Yeah. And I would be interested to find out what our transgender listeners actually think about this. I know Charlie Hersman is one of our avid Rain Man Show listeners. In fact, I was joking about possibly becoming our official transgender correspondent so that when we have questions, they can just call right in, kind of like the transgender bat signal.
Actually, Mike, like that.
Yeah, and we just play some music and they just come right in with a phone call to the show and then
like
fill
an actual
us in.
Batman hotline.
Because I can't imagine. Charlie is very no different than you and I. A dude.
Common sense.
Common sense. A lot of people feel, and I see a lot of these articles in these far right websites, they kind of label transgenders as these odd people on the fringes of society. But that's not the case. They're no different than you and I. And I wouldn't doubt if they view this as very strange. I don't even think they would fully accept this. They can't. It's just not normal. Identifying as a human being, fine. Identifying as a fucking feline or a canine isn't normal.
I think my question would be, how many layers do there have to be before you just consider that maybe there's something else going on?
400.
Yeah. Tony says, to me, a dog is everything pure in the world. Dogs experience the world through a lens of pure joy that I don't think other animals have. A lot of little kids like to play like they're a dog, and most of them grow out of it. I just never grew out of that. And now in my adult life, in my relationships, it's a way for me to feel vulnerable and exposed and close to my partner. It's a very intimate thing. How about you make love? That's also intimate. Having sex, having a romantic dinner, having conversation. That's also intimate. Getting to know your partner.
Actually opening up as one human does to another.
You don't have to identify as an animal in order to get closer to your significant other. Unless maybe they work at an animal shelter, and then maybe you want to go with them to work every day and be put in the cage. Imagine if the easiest way to delight your partner is you just throw a ball across the room. Relationships wouldn't fail anymore if that's all you had to do. Tony said it has brought him close to his partner. Andrew added, I hang out and I provide him with lots of attention and tell him he's a good boy. That's basically 90% of it.
Then
see, he scored. This guy scored. He's like, you telling me I don't have to do the laundry? I don't have to clean the bathroom. I don't got to throw the trash out. All I got to do is throw this bitch a fucking ball and she's happy. Fuck, I'll pretend I'm into a dog. Hey, bitch, can I put some peanut butter on my dick and you can suck it off later? Dogs do that too. She's all, I appreciate that I'm married to someone who encourages me to explore my imagination and my interests. Explore your imagination by possibly writing down your thoughts. Maybe write a fucking book.
Write a fan fiction about anthropomorphic animals. That there's all kinds of different stories out there about that.
Yeah. But that would be, again, that'd be too much common sense, Thomas. That's way too much common sense. So I would be interested. If Charlie is listening on demand, send me a message on either email or Facebook, Twitter, and let me know your thoughts, and I will read them. Or if you want to spot on the show, you can call in for 5-10 minutes and give us your spiel on this situation. Because I am very interested in finding out exactly how the LGBT community truly views these types of people. Because I feel like these types of people are the ones that you don't want on your team. Like when you're trying to gain acceptance, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's your battle. Like when you're a transgender male or a transgender female or a gay male or a gay female, I got to think that a lot of your life is trying to gain acceptance, right? You're trying to make sure people view you a certain way, because let's just call it what it is. There's a lot of people out there who don't give those people the respect they deserve, right?
Right.
So a lot of their life is about gaining that respect and being looked at no different than anybody else is looked at. But then suddenly you have someone who identifies as a dog, and it throws a wrench in your plan, because now you have to deal with that, because then all the right-leaning lunatics
are going to go to that
and say, hey, look at this is the problem with transgenders. They want to be a fucking dog. What next? Amphibians? You want to be a fucking frog?
Princess
Jesus
and the Frog.
Christ. This is why God killed everyone in Sodom and Gomorrah. It just makes way for religious, moronic banter.
Yeah.
Rhetoric, yes. So I can't imagine that you would be okay with this. I think it would annoy you.
I would personally think so.
Yeah, thanks for that input. All right. I got a fat bitch pussy, Cardi B claims. She got that warm pussy that no man would leave for. What do you think? Are you into Cardi B, Thomas?
No, I don't like her.
I don't particularly care for her music because I think she has zero talent. But,
that too.
But her social media presence is on point. Like, she keeps me entertained because she's so fucking ignorant.
Ass pussy. There's a lot of fucking cute niggas out here with whack ass dick, little ass shrimp dicks.
Or thimble dicks.
So I don't give a fuck. Think I'm ugly or not. Got good pussy. Wet, warm pussy. Wet, warm, small pussy.
Does that even sound? Is that okay? Around the room, men who like women only.
I'm out.
Around the room, Thomas, does that do anything for you when you hear her saying, I got a fat bitch pussy that's warm and wet, small? Does that do anything?
No, that's a turn off, dude. What are you talking about?
Tony, does that do anything for you?
No, not really.
Andrew.
Trashy as fuck.
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't care about the trashy part.
I'm out.
Trashy is good sometimes. I'm talking about her choice words. Are those words in any way, do they seduce you?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Trashy as fuck, bad. Trashy good.
Even after my bad, somebody just sort through my life. Even after I gave birth, pussy still good. Mom still popping.
She's got a same vocabulary as Tony sometimes.
Tony, is after your birth with
birth, yeah.
I was gonna say something, and I was like, maybe I should have gone that route. I don't want Tony to murder me.
You shitting me? What the fuck is you talking about?
She's such a train wreck. She's such a train wreck. And anybody that wants to hate on America and say it's not the home of the brave, land of the free, where anybody can earn a buck, look at Cardi B. Exhibit A. Trash, uneducated trash. She can't even carry a conversation. I've heard her on interviews. I've heard her on interviews, and it's embarrassing. I'm actually embarrassed for her. Listening to her speak, she can't form cohesive sentences. She doesn't even really understand when someone's asking her something. You could see her brain working really hard. She's ignorant.
Smoke coming out of her ears as she tries to answer, how do you feel today?
Every nigga that I fucking been with.
But I guess as long as you got that fat bitch pussy, it doesn't matter if you have anything in your head
at all.
Fat bitch pussy? That's hot.
That I cuff all of them niggas.
Raina, do you got that fat bitch pussy?
Oh, God. No.
Just tatted my name. Wanna know why? Because I got that type of pussy. Warm pussy.
She's singing. This isn't repeating. This is actually her still going on.
That's still the same video?
Yeah, same video.
I mean, is there such thing as cold pussy? She keeps saying warm pussy, and I'm like, what am I missing?
See, that's a valid question. I wish Raina was on her feed right now, because Cardi B was actually going live on Instagram with this, and people were asking her questions. Raina should have been there asking her, hey, is there such thing as cold pussy? I think if your pussy's not warm, chances are you're probably dead.
Ugh.
Shit feels like a fat bitch pussy. You know, fat bitches got warm, nice pussy too.
What?
What are you saying?
That's what I got.
Fat bitches got that fat bitch warm pussy too. That's what I got.
I got fat bitch pussy.
Is this the same?
It's the same.
Holy
I have not rewound it once. This is her
Are
still
you
going on.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's great.
Fat bitches got the warmest pussy. That's what I got.
I'm going to do a parody video of this with Thomas. I'm going to have Thomas go on there. Like, I got that 6.9
I'd have to lobotomize myself first. To
I got that 6.9 warm dick with that weird discharge when you get pierced. Yeah, yeast.
I'd have to give myself a lobotomy to get that 1,000-yard dead-eyed stare.
I got a yeast dick. You know, that yeast dick that women love.
Cardi B. Fat bitch pussy. He ain't going nowhere. Not with this good ass pussy. Not with this good ass fucking mouth. Wet ass mouth. Deep.
She does talk like Tony. Tony, can you recite some lines? Can you use say birth and mouth for us?
Birth mouth.
That's fucking madness, dude. Hey, the Rain Man Show will be right back.
It's a good story.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, DEAL30 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And for your viewing pleasure, 6 free spicy movies on DVD. Plus, free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. So go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code DEAL30. Again, that's DEAL30, because without it, no free stuff. That's DEAL30 at adamandeve.com.
Welcome back to the Rain Man Show. All right. If you miss any part of the show, you can find us on Stitcher and iTunes. Just search Rain Man Show. Leave us reviews. I'm liking our reviews.
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
That's good.
Also, our app currently, Thomas, as of right now, has been removed from the iOS App Store, but it should be back within the next couple days.
Technical shit?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's what we'll say?
Yeah, I don't want to get into it. It'll turn my entire mood to poop.
We'll save that for another show.
And Andrew will have to deal with a very annoyed Mike. And we're about to get into more Andrew.
So you don't need to be any more annoyed because it's going to happen anyway?
Exactly.
All right. Well, I'm excited for this because you weren't here last week. I had to share a horror story, and I want to know yours because, as I've said before, I want to have like a therapy episode, maybe a Patreon one, where we really get into Andrew's fucked up world because it is fascinating and sad all at the same time. And I think that's really what makes horror great. It has to be interesting and sad.
You've got to get into the season. Right.
Exactly. And what better way than with this right now?
Like I'm telling you, what scares Andrew more than Andrew? Andrew's brain. And what it dreams up of in the night. So you get to look into.
I think you've got night terrors or some shit, man.
I've actually never had night terrors. My little brother.
That right there was the stuff of nightmares.
My little brother has had night terrors before, and they're just the worst thing to witness.
Wait, you have a little brother?
I have a half brother. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
We never knew that.
That's not true. I've 100% mentioned my very autistic half brother. A number of times.
I don't know that you have.
I hope I did.
So you
we probably never paid attention. We never paid attention.
Tapes.
We never paid attention.
Is this your mom's child?
Yes.
God bless her. Having 2 autistic children and still looking so fucking hot.
She's a trooper.
She's a keeper too. What's wrong with your father?
He is psychologically and emotionally abusive.
That got real depressing.
And with that,
we're trying to have fun here.
A broken family relationship. Oh no!
It's gonna be a good one.
That explains everything.
All right, it is time. It is time for Halloween Horror Stories Part 2.
I have a legitimate question.
You're not supposed to interrupt the bit. Go ahead, you interrupted.
How have you not named this Halloweener Horror Stories?
Because that's fucking cheesy. That's why.
That's a good one.
No, that's
Thank you. Don't compliment him.
Listen, I know we're a corny radio show, but I'm not about to just
Schlocktober.
Yeah.
Dick or treat.
No, that's not good. God damn it.
I'm not going to cash it in. I mean, I'm not going to say, all right, we're done. No more thinking. Halloweeny?
Halloweener, yeah.
Oh, Halloweener? Yeah. That's even worse. All right, let's get into Andrew's Halloween Penis Horror Stories. After I read all 4 stories, we will accept callers. First come, first serve, and you will compete with Raina. That's all I can do, all right? Hopefully they don't both win because I don't think our budget allows 2 winners. So hopefully
Christmas is coming up. You know, you got to tighten that belt.
Yeah. All right. Story number 1. In this chilling tale, we are introduced to a certain horror so debauched it will make your stomach turn. One eerie and rainy night, Andrew Spindler was on his way to work when suddenly his car began to make strange noises. Within a matter of mere moments, the car shut off, and it started to drift off toward the side of the highway. Needing to get to work and unable to call anyone for assistance, he left his car and began the slow trek to work on foot. As the minutes ticked by and the storm grew, he realized that he had made a gross error. Knowing it was too late, he chose to press on. Unfortunately, a few moments later, he would learn just how terrible of a mistake he had made when he realized he needed to use the bathroom. The urge was sudden and felt almost as if an unseen supernatural force was pressing down on his bladder. With the intensity and urge growing, it was just too much to bear, and he peed down his leg. He felt ashamed because he welcomed the warmth and the brief reprieve from the cold. No one would ever know, he thought. The rain soaked his clothing, and he knew he would be able to take this to his grave. No one would ever learn the truth. Till now. That's story number 1. Here we go. Story number 2. Andrew Spindler stars in a story so perverse, so demented, that it feels like it could be the natural successor to Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Jesus.
Andrew's story does for The Shower what Psycho did so many years before. Move over Norman Bates. A new grotesque human has checked in. Have you ever been so tired in the morning that you just jumped into the shower, turned the water on, and then peed in your own mouth?
Oh.
What freakish nightmare of a person would do such a thing?
Hell.
Andrew Spiller stars in The Serial Pee Drinker.
Oh.
Rated X.
Okay.
All right, story number 3. Once upon a time, deep within the dark forest of the White Mountains, among the tree folk, there was a young boy named Andrew who was avidly looking for what many stories call the elusive woods porn. Now, many believe these fabled pornographic magazines to be just sheer myth, an old tale handed down and told by perverted old men around the fire. But Andrew was sure that these stories were true. So grabbing his backpack, a bottle of lotion, and some tissue, he made his way into the darkest regions of the forest. But to his dismay, he never found the porn he was so desperately seeking. So with the hour getting late and the need for release getting stronger, he decided to just crank one out in the forest. After all, there was no one else out there with him, or so he thought, until his sister walked from around a tree and caught Andrew with his hands in his pants. She let out a blood-curdling scream, just as Andrew had finished. Story number 4. Jim Bros Care 2, The Peculiar Case of the Slinking Penis.
What? That doesn't... Okay.
A few years...
Mike broke.
A few years back, Andrew was working out at the gym. Dressed in his usual garb, cut-off sweatpants and a cut-off tee, Andrew began his sick and depraved workout, starting with his go-to squats. Men with his sexual appetite must keep a firm bum, after all. And after doing 2 or 3 sets, Andrew noticed a very peculiar draft every time he moved downward on the squat. It wasn't until a girl walked by and giggled that he noticed that he had a small hole near the crotch area of the sweatpants. And with the blood draining from his face, he saw what the girl was laughing at. His penis! His penis was trying to slink its way through the small tear. Oh, the horror! Oh, the disgust! All right.
Holy
Every
shit.
single one of those was so good that even I would be confused as to which story was actually mine.
Typical. All right. So, Raina, since you're on, we're just going to go and have you go first. All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
Story 1, story 2, story 3, or story 4. Which one is the true story?
Story 4.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay. I cannot tell you whether or not it is correct until we get the next person on the line as well.
And that number again?
818-394-0279. Call now. I forgot the number. 818-394-0279. 818-394-0279. Call now. Call right now. And the winner will receive a... Hold on, let me answer this. You're going to have to talk for a second, Thomas.
What I love about those is that each one of them is very much what I could see happening to you.
We're getting tons of calls. Shit. All right, caller, are you there? They hung up.
It's still ringing. Each one of those is perfectly you. That's the worst part.
I have so much to say, and I can't.
Jesus,
Yes.
Andrew, everyone's definitely wants to hear from you. Hello, who's this on the line?
Oh my God, this is Kayla.
Oh shit.
Hey. Wait, who is this?
Yes.
Kayla?
Oh my god.
All right. Kayla, why? Raina,
Why? Oh, God, I don't know why Raina's so upset.
Does Raina know who Kayla is?
Yes, I do. That's my coworker.
Yeah, Raina knows who Kayla is.
She's my assistant at work.
All right, no more phone calls. We have Kayla here. Kayla is on the line. All right, Kayla. So you heard the entire thing, right? So what story is it? Story 1, story 2, story 3, or story 4?
I'm going to go with story number peed on his leg.
Is that the final answer?
Story was.
That's your final answer? And Raina has her final answer, and I have to say, both of you are incorrect.
Oh,
Suck, Kayla.
Can I guess?
Yes, please.
Well, that's not very hard now.
Mike, no, because it's the same one I thought it was going to be this whole time.
Okay, which one is it, Thomas?
You pee in your own fucking mouth?
Oh my
god. Tony, what do you think?
Am I fucking right?
Hold on.
What?
Which one is it?
I was going to say story 3.
So everyone thinks Andrew was looking for woods porn.
Yeah.
You see how I wrote these, though? I used stories from the show.
You fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thomas.
You fucking peed in your own mouth.
Pissed in my
See, you know what gave that away to me? It's the only one fucking dumb enough.
Exactly. See, Tony,
in your mouth?
Thomas, you were on the right track.
Thank you.
Because that's the first thing I thought. This is a story worthy of Andrew. Who else pees in their mouth in the shower?
Oh my god.
So here's what happened. I just gotten off of a super long, like 13-hour workday.
Do you have like a keg tube connected to your dick and it goes directly to your mouth? Is that what you do?
So the night before, 13 hours work, got home super late, had to wake up super early to catch the bus to go to work in the morning. Right. Running off of like 3 hours of sleep. Wake up, get in the shower, skipping some time. I just let go in the shower, right? Pee in the shower.
Who hasn't, right?
Animals.
This is happening.
You guys, wait, hold on. Let's tackle this first. You guys pee in the shower?
I've done it every now and then.
Who doesn't pee in the shower?
Wow.
You're not supposed to.
Thank you, Raina. Thank you. Finally.
Don't let Raina fool you. Raina pees in the shower.
That was one time, and you said you wouldn't tell.
But how the fuck
so
did
hold
you...
on. Okay, so I'm let loose. I'm real fucking tired. Got the bar of soap, wish and wash, and do the upper body. Bend over to do the legs.
Yeah, you did.
And just blast myself. I totally forgot.
You didn't... Hold on. You didn't remember as you bent over that's what you were in the middle of doing?
Nope. Just totally forgot.
How long does it take you to pee?
You really are autistic. What the hell?
I don't know, dude. I tell you what.
Forgot you were peeing.
Totally forgot.
Do you have no sensation in your dick?
I was tired as fuck.
That's a yes.
I just wanted to get on the bus so I could nap to my next stop.
Listen, I've been so out of my mind drunk. And I still know when I get in the shower, because that's when I have peed. I'll admit it. When I'm drunk in the shower, like, because I have no control, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But you still feel it. You never lose sensation in your dick.
Right, Mike,
are
you
correct. Are you doing lines of blow?
No.
Is that a possibility?
Are you injecting like heroin in the veins down there or some shit?
Not anymore.
Do you have a callous dickhead? Like maybe it's just over abused?
But you still feel it from your bladder.
Yeah. Okay, so
and that's why it was the stupidest one.
So let me work out the logistics of this. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because Thomas, I think, understands it now, but I want to make sure we paint this picture for everyone who's as slow as me.
He's in his seat trying to figure out fucking trigonometry over here.
So you were washing your feet and legs. You bent over, and your penis was pointing directly into your mouth ever so perfectly. And you opened your mouth and just went with it?
I didn't get a full gob full, but it
He was trying to fulfill a fantasy.
But I got enough to know that I needed to drink
more water. And you wonder
water.
why more and more women are becoming lesbians. Because of stories like this.
Oh, man.
There's a few choice sickos just ruining it for the rest of us. All right, Kayla, thank you for calling. And try again next week. We'll be doing another one. If you are very fast on the trigger there, call us and perhaps you will win.
I'm the quickest. All right.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
That's what she said.
Bye.
This segment has undergone a very horrible turn of events.
I mean, that's kind of the point, though, right?
Pretty all right.
But this is probably the worst turn of events that I can ever imagine.
Yeah. Wow.
I just want to say I thank Andrew and I salute him for finally
coming up with something useful for the show.
Finally participating.
That's
finally.
true.
Juicy Asians.
And now let's celebrate.
So I can ask you to talk about the fucking
Bill Maher, Mayor Maher, my butt. I ate a bunch of Bill Maher, Mayor Maher.
Ooh, Buzz Juicy Asians.
Have you ever waxed your butt?
I love Juicy Asians.
Bill Maher, Mayor Maher, my butt. I ate a bunch of Bill Maher, Mayor Maher.
I still love this.
Ooh,
This is
Buzz Juicy Asians.
have you ever waxed your butt?
I love
Honey Dick.
Bill Maher, Mayor.
All right.
Hey, before I leave tonight, I'm going to use the shower if you don't mind.
You will never go anywhere near my bathroom. All right, it's time for news. Let's get into this. We're all on an Andrew high right now.
I know.
Yeah. Well, every time I think we are doing good on a show, we get a listener that will say, "Oh, I hate Andrew. Why are you guys focusing on him this week?" So we'll see.
Shit like that.
We'll see.
And now it's time for news with Andrew.
Starting things off with the D.C. Attorney General launches investigation into the Catholic Church. Washington, D.C. Attorney General Carl Rackine announced Tuesday that he has launched a civil investigation into whether the Archdiocese of Washington violated the law by covering up the sexual abuse of minors.
Chances are they did.
I would think so, yes.
I mean, we're raking Hollywood over the coals right now because of a few situations. When I say a few, I say that in comparison to the church. So if we're raking Hollywood over the coals and we have an entire change in the social climate and construct of how society has been built for the past, what?
Millennia?
Yeah, we're seeing a change like we've never seen before because of a few incidences in Hollywood. Meanwhile, the Catholic Church has been doing this since time began. I'm glad somebody's finally doing something about all the kid touchers in there. Hey, guys, you know what? We've been going after Weinstein and Bill Cosby, but I think we might need to turn our sights to some real pieces of shit. The ones who rape little children and then lie about it.
I just imagine the cops are like, did anybody ever prosecute that from 10 years ago? No?
Father Joseph?
Okay, get some pens and paper, guys.
I know. All right, so what does the news say?
While we generally don't talk publicly about our confidential enforcement activity, I can report that our office has launched a civil investigation into whether the Archdiocese, which is a nonprofit institution, violated the district's Nonprofit Act by potentially covering up allegations of sexual abuse of minors, Rackine said in a statement provided to CNN by a representative. According to the law, nonprofits are required to work for a public purpose.
Wet, warm, small pussy.
They were not interested in that.
If they are, in fact, covering up child sex abuse, that is clearly not in the public interest.
Really? That's a bold statement.
In the Vatican, it seems pretty...
I got to congratulate them. That's a bold statement. We don't condone the raping of little children.
Nor the covering of it up.
And now applause, please, everyone. Tell us we're doing a good job because we're against we're basically for being human beings and not being pieces of shit. Please applaud and give us a pat on the back.
10 years after the fact.
What else is to say, Andrew? I know you're very bored over there with your yawning.
You know me. The Attorney General also announced a new portal for victims of clergy abuse in the district to report their abuse to his office.
A new portal?
Web portal.
Fill out this form.
Yeah. While the Attorney General in Washington does not have jurisdiction over most criminal matters, except for some misdemeanors, Rackine can investigate potential civil violations. They could investigate, for example, whether the Archdiocese of Washington used donations or other funds to cover up the abuse of children, said Rob Morris, spokesperson for the Attorney General.
Okay.
They also have jurisdiction to enforce local laws requiring entities to report the abuse of children, the spokesman added. In Washington, clergy are not considered mandated reporters of abuse, but Catholic school teachers and other school employees are.
Wait, the clergy, there's no mandate that they should report this?
No,
because the clergy doesn't have to.
Yeah, the whole system's designed to just for fuckery.
Yeah,
pretty much.
The church was not founded on St. Peter. It was founded on Little Peter. What else do we have in the news?
Moving on to a woman demands to see passports of Spanish-speaking family at a Virginia restaurant.
Okay.
Jesus.
A white woman confronted a Spanish-speaking family last week at a Virginia restaurant and demanded that they show me your passports in a video that has since gone viral.
Mm-hmm.
The woman can be heard screaming at a Guatemalan woman and her family, telling them to go back to your fucking country. She also tells the family not to freeload on America and repeatedly asks for their passports. Later in the video, the woman is seen continuing her tirade outside the restaurant, saying, "I'm tired of this shit." The woman who was berated and recorded the video shared it with Telemundo 44 in Washington, D.C.
Telemundo.
The confrontation occurred at an Andy's, a restaurant in Lovettsville, Virginia. The restaurant denounced the woman in a Facebook post, calling her a vile and loathsome individual.
Once again, a very bold statement.
I know, right?
Yeah, very ballsy.
We hate racists.
This is that kind of person, though, that kind of hearkening to the dog story, where it's like you have a viewpoint that doesn't want certain people associated with that because there's extremists.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think anybody who's against illegal immigration, even if the slightest degree, it hates people like this even more because you're just becoming some kind of cartoon Disney villain.
Yeah.
Just, show me your papers. What is this, fucking science fiction?
She's a waitress, right? Is she a waitress or she just works there?
I think she was just a lady there.
Yeah.
I believe that she was just a lady.
Okay. Does she work for INS? Is she part of the Gestapo? You don't have any authority to check for papers. Papers, please. Papers.
Papers, Please was a fantastic
You're hiding
video game.
burritos under your floorboards? Yes. Go ahead. What else does it say?
The confrontation is the latest video to go viral, showing a white person berating a Spanish-speaking people in public.
Speaking of Spanish-speaking people, is Raina still on the air with us?
I'm here. I'm not asleep.
Oh, okay. All right. What else do we have in the news, Andrew?
A second migrant caravan heads for the U.S. 1,000 Hondurans have crossed into Guatemala following the first group of 7,000 into Mexico.
What is this, breaking Mexican news right now? 2 in a row?
A second migrant caravan is heading for the American border after having...
I like that word, though.
Caravan?
I want to be a part of a caravan. I think that sounds cool. Doesn't it? How many people must you be in order to be officially titled or qualify as a caravan? Do you guys know?
They're probably all like cousins and, related and stuff.
Well, yeah, we think it's like a group of people. It's just one family.
Yeah, that's what I was
Could be
thinking.
just like a family reunion or barbecue.
I promise, mijo, there's no cats in America. Let's go.
A caravan is a large group of people, typically with vehicles or animals traveling together in single file.
They are the animals.
Camels.
Historically, a group of people, especially traders or pilgrims, traveling together across a desert in Asia or North Africa.
Oh, then this isn't a caravan. They're not.
This is just a bunch of people.
So Moses is leading them?
Go ahead. What does it say, please?
A second caravan made up of 1,000 people crossed the border from Honduras into Guatemala on Sunday before arriving in the town of Chiquimula.
Sounds made up to me.
On Monday night. They are following the path of a much larger group, believed to be around 7,000, which was sheltering in the town of Huixla in southern Mexico overnight on Monday.
Is that a question, or are you actually reading the news?
I don't know how words do.
Okay.
I don't know how words do.
What?
Michael.
What?
I don't know.
You just stuffed Toady.
It is not clear exactly when or where the second group started their march, though it is believed to be somewhere near San Pedro Sula, where the first started.
I feel like I'm obligated to say that there's a lot of inaccurate information surrounding this entire thing. You keep hearing different things. Yes, I think it can be I think it's pretty clear that there's a group of individuals coming. They're marching over here. But my only problem is this, is that they're individuals running from allegedly, they're running from an evil, bloody country, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the narrative is. At least that's what the left says.
They pitch it that way.
That these are not immigrants. These are individuals fleeing, seeking for asylum. We're not just immigrants. We're looking for a safe haven. Please accept us, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Okay, that's fine. But why wave the flag of your country proudly and defiantly as you march toward the U.S.? So that's what I don't understand. If your country is so effing terrible that you must flee, why have that kind of pride for a violent and corrupt government that doesn't care to help its citizens?
So this...
Andrew, you never saw the Jews during World War II flee to the U.S. or another allied country waving the Nazi flag. It doesn't make sense. If you're fleeing hate and tyranny, why are you waving the very flag that it represents? That represents that.
The images posted to this article from Getty Images also show something.
You know what I would really like to see?
Weird.
I would like to see these individuals completely adorned in American attire, American flags.
I want to be part. Wave the flag.
I want to be a part of the United States. It is so fucking important to us. What happened to those immigrants? Those were my parents.
Yeah,
the ones that were so full of pride to come over here. The ones who threw their old life away and said, "Hey, you know what? This is the country we want to be in." I don't understand the new generation of immigrants. It doesn't make sense. They come over here and they hate a lot of the things we do.
I don't get it, dude.
Yeah, it's weird.
My grandparents on my mom's side are the exact same, just from Ireland. They came via boat and everything.
Yeah.
Through Ellis Island, my grandfather and grandmother. And he joined the army because he wanted to fast track it.
We're the first, me and my brother are the first of our family that was born in this country. Everyone else was born in Mexico. So we are immigrants, our family.
They're first generation.
But none of them have that pride. They're not shitting on the American flag and waving the country that they're not even from or the country they don't even want to be in. Go ahead. Get it. What else does it say?
The article continues with a whole bunch of photos here. And it doesn't really bring up any additional information.
Right. Next news topic, please. I'm tired of I'm Mexicaned out.
Harvey Weinstein.
Who?
Harvey Weinstein. Accusers.
Holy crap. I thought that was a joke.
Bill Maher. There we go. Bill Maher? Maher? Maher. Maher? Harvey Weinstein.
I like the first time that he did it, though. I like the first time. Go ahead.
Bill Maher.
I don't know how words do.
Go ahead, please.
Harvey Weinstein accusers insurers in early talks to settle civil claims.
Mm-hmm.
Lawyers for Mr. Weinstein and women who have accused him of sexual misconduct are working with insurance companies and the New York Attorney General's office in an attempt to reach a sweeping settlement of all civil suits.
Can we just Lee Harvey Oswald this guy at this point? Like, the guy's guilty.
Yeah.
Just eat a bullet.
Be done with it.
Yeah.
Civil suits pending against the disgraced producer and his former film studio, according to people familiar with the matter. Mediation sessions are scheduled for 2 days in early November, the people have said, making it the largest effort to date to resolve more than a dozen sexual misconduct legal allegations faced by Mr. Weinstein. And unfortunately, that is all that I can read on this particular article.
All right, well, what else do we have in the news, Andrew?
Sure. Transgender could be defined out of existence under Trump administration.
That's a bit hyperbolic of a title.
The Trump administration is considering narrowly defining gender as a biological, immutable condition determined by genitalia at birth. The most drastic move yet in a government-wide effort to roll back recognition and protections of transgender people under federal civil rights laws. A series of decisions by the Obama administration loosened the legal concept of gender in federal programs, including in education and healthcare.
Rightfully so, too.
Recognizing gender largely as an individual's choice and not determined by the sex assigned at birth.
As long as we don't have dogs, people that identify as dogs or parrots.
You shouldn't be taking...
Dog is a gender.
I feel like as long as you identify as a human being, I feel like you should be included in anything. And I read up on this whole thing, And it is one of the things that I don't like about Trump. I understand that he has this need to put everything on paper, which I can get behind that. That's what he's been trying to do since he's gotten to office. Everything has to be passed through Congress. That's what he wants. And I can respect that. Trying to give power back to the fucking lazy bums that don't do their job. So I can get behind that. But this, Obama loosened it up, and I think it should be, because then what you're doing is you're denying basic rights. It's no different than the 90s. We had this in the 90s, this problem. It was a huge deal. And you guys are maybe too young to remember all those sensational headlines. But in the 90s, they were really trying to do that. They were trying to do this exact same thing with the definition, the legal definition of marriage. And in fact, you still have those far right morons still trying to do that, where they were trying to define marriage as specifically and legally between a man and a woman. That way, anybody that may be a gay couple or in an official partnership of sorts couldn't have the same benefits of a married couple that was defined by the law, which is between a man and a woman. Now they're doing a very similar thing. If this is in fact true, if this is not just sensationalized headlines for the purpose of clickbaiting, if this is real, I can't agree with that, because it's no different than what we did in the 90s, what the government was trying to do to the gay individuals. Go ahead. What else does it say?
The policy prompted fights over bathrooms, dormitories, single-sex programs, and other arenas where gender was once seen as a simple concept. Conservatives, especially evangelical Christians, were incensed.
See, I feel like if there does need to be some clear lines. I understand what they're trying to do, but I think this is where the LGBTQ community needs to quit adding letters. And they need to help make definitions. And I know the whole point of that organization is to be accepting.
To not do that exactly.
But at the same time, they need to actually help out. They need to just say, they can't say everything goes.
Well,
they have to say, listen, man, woman, human being. Okay? A dog, a parrot, get the fuck out of here.
You shouldn't be going to the vet.
Right.
That's the point. If you're going to the vet, you fucked up.
Because all this does is mess it up and make it a gray area for them.
Well, and we've talked about this before with other protests, that if you don't have some clear goals or a unified message that can be absorbed and put into a legal sense, you will never get what you want.
Because you can't put in law human being / dog / parrots / alligators, whatever the fuck you want to identify as. You can't do that.
And change it every so many months. You just can't.
And this is where the gay community, the LGBT community, can kind of come in and say, these are our guidelines. We're an ever-growing organization. We always want to accept, but at the same time, we need to kind of grab the reins here when it comes to certain legislation and help write certain things, and also help create definitions so that it isn't a fucking cluster.
Yeah.
And it doesn't leave any rooms for assholes in the White House to create these loopholes that then segregate certain individuals. Don't give them that power. Create your own definitions, which they have, which is on their website, and say, this is what we want. These need to be included in law. And if they're not, then keep working the system until it is. But when you have parrots and alligators and dogs and bears and rhinos as a part of your organization, you're going to run out of the alphabet. You're going to start using numbers?
It's just a license plate, though.
Yeah. All right, Andrew, go for it. What else do we have in the news, please?
Sure.
Go ahead.
You can now buy flatulence jeans, which claim to stop your farts from smelling, but they don't come cheap.
Does it stop the sound, too? Because that's more embarrassing. Because you can release one, not that I do this, and it can be silent, right? So that's not a thing. You can kind of gauge, right? But sometimes, if you're running around, you might accidentally let it slip. So let's make sure it's soundproof, too. I think those pants need to be soundproof.
The noise is always the part that's made fun of.
Yeah. Right.
The smell is something
you can blame on somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, it's that guy over there.
Oh, it's this dead animal I found on the side of the road.
Yeah. Go ahead, Andrew. What does it say?
We've all been there. You're on a date or at an important meeting.
No, because I'm not a savage.
Nope.
I don't pee in the tub, and I don't fart accidentally on a date.
I don't go to an important meeting and let out a fart. You're a fucking animal. You can hold it till you go to the bathroom.
Look,
you're
it's
Ryan.
Fine. It's fine. It happens to the best of us.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It does.
What? Wait, Andrew, you accidentally go in a professional setting and just let it rip.
Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for all coming to this meeting.
But you fart. You have a little gassy bit.
No, you don't.
You do
no
too.
CEO has ever let one out.
You've never been in a meeting and let out a silent but deadly. No. I call mad bullshit on that.
Okay, not all of us work at the fucking mall.
Yeah.
So you got to fart. You know it's going to be smelly. Do you excuse yourself?
You hold it in. You clench your ass and you wait till the meeting is over.
We already learned from the Halloween horror stories that Andrew cannot hold anything in. He pees in his mouth. If you want to believe the other story, he pees down his leg.
There's a lot of pee involved. Maybe that's just Andrew then.
Have you ever had a fart that you just simply cannot hold
Andrew,
in?
you're a fucking savage.
No.
I think that's
bullshit.
I've never had a fart that I could not control that I knew was coming up.
I think anyone can control if they wanted to. If you're an animal, you just let it rip.
Like animals do.
You know, or you have poop knives in your home like Tony and David.
It really shouldn't be a big deal, but you can't stop your face from flushing from embarrassment after consuming your entire being because it stinks. That is a terribly written sentence. So what do you do?
Can we buy these? Can we buy these?
Yes, absolutely.
Give them to Ryan and Andrew.
If Bobby's listening, Bobby, please purchase these. You'll get reimbursed because we're going to beta test these.
A fashion company has
I'm going to have Ryan come in. I'm going to feed him a bunch of gassy food.
Burritos.
And I'm going to make sure he farts. I'm going to give him the go-ahead. I'll put some potpourri candles around him just so I don't die.
Poopery.
And then we're going to see if anything permeates from the area. You want to do that, Thomas?
I think that's a good idea.
I think
we
that'd
should
be fun.
test it.
Yeah.
And Ryan will do it.
Oh, for sure. Go ahead.
A fashion company has come up with a new way to solve this pesky little problem that literally everybody has, even if they tell you they don't. But it will cost you $100. For this price tag, you can get a pair of flatulent jeans designed to eliminate any odors created by farts. Created by Shreddies, a company known for making flatulence underwear for both men and women.
There's an entire business where this one guy was like, you know what? I just keep shitting myself in public. What if I had underwear that didn't allow that to happen?
Wouldn't that be
and then he upgraded to jeans.
Wouldn't that be like an embarrassing business proposal?
Yes.
Because if someone, let's say I was a suit, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I was an executive with
investor.
money, an investor of sorts. And this guy scheduled a meeting with me. And he says, all right, bear with me here, think odorless farting.
And I'm out.
I want you, sir, to invest in pants that block the odor of farts. I would think this is a guy that suffers from a flatulent problem.
IBS or something.
That's the first thing that would enter my brain. I'm like,
well,
dude,
the first thing I thought of is, did he just fucking fart in here?
How about people don't, end of business. How about you're just a human being? Don't fart in public. Unless you identify as a dog, then I guess you can just let it go. Go ahead, Andrew.
Created by Shreddies, the company known for making its flatulence underwear for both men and women, the jeans feature a carbon lining which gives increased protection and more freedom to enter social situations.
Or, and here's an idea, clench your fucking ass.
Yeah, clench it hard.
I refuse to believe that there has ever been a fart that you have not been able to hold in.
Andrew, you're that guy that farts at the gym, aren't you? And then you walk by and
crop dust.
You will leave everyone else to stew and wonder who did it.
No, if I
because
fart,
I
try
hate
to
you people. And there's a special place in hell for people that essentially fart in my fucking mouth because I'm on the treadmill, heavy breathing, because that's what you do. You're taking deep breaths and someone farts and fucking does a drive-by shit on me and it feels like it's in my fucking throat. Fuck you and fuck the person that does it. I hate you. We'll be right back with the
fart riddled autistic post show.
Whatever.
Radio has changed our lives and possibly saved our lives.
Oh yeah! I want to tell you about Dead City Radio now and the new cast of Supertown.
Thank you for listening to The Rain Man Show with your host, Michael Flores, with hosts Tony Sabal and Thomas Cowley, Andrew Spindler with the news, audio guru Dustin Lucas, produced by Michael Flores and Dustin Lucas. The Rain Man Show is a Cazador Productions and Rain Man Digital broadcast production. For all things Rain Man, go to rainmanshow.com.
It's okay to be gay, let's rejoice with the boys in the gay way. Hooray for the kind of man that you will find in the gay way. It's okay to be gay, let's rejoice with the boys in the gay way. Hooray for the kind of man that you will find in the gay way. Father figures me out, you're a shooting star, you come so far. I was in your shoes, in a closet like you, I had nothing to lose.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rain Man No Talent Autistic Post Show with me, your host, the only one that matters, Andrew.
Off to a bad start.
Always. How's it going, Thomas?
Good.
Tony?
How's it going?
And Raina.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a very serious question for you, Raina. Just right up top.
Go ahead.
Are there farts that you simply cannot hold in?
No, not really.
That's bullshit. No, there's no way. There's no way.
There's a first of all, there's a
I mean, like, I feel like
difference.
there's always an out. There's ways to excuse yourself.
If you have to, sure, excusing yourself entirely, fine, cool. But holding a fart in, refusing its exit,
Yes.
just in period.
It's like Gandalf. You're like, you shall not pass. And you yell at the demon that lives in your ass. And then you go to the fucking bathroom and you fart there.
It's obvious that Twink has a loose ass.
Thank you, Tony.
Well, it's true. I mean, he just revealed it to us. You have a loose ass.
I have gas problems. I'm aware of
Not
this.
you could call it whatever you want. You have a loose
A
ass.
spade's a spade.
Yeah.
Speaking of loose asses, Tony Bark, we have to talk about this.
How is that related?
They're
let him go. Let him go.
They're in a gay relationship. Is that a stretch?
I'm not trying to be rude.
Right.
But this whole thing is a stretch because, again, there are layers upon layers of this individual's identity. And I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but I think at that point, you might want to consider maybe there's something else going on other than just how I identify. If you're a transgender as another species, as a comic book character, that's... I just feel like there's a certain point where you have to ask, okay, maybe there's something else going on here.
Well, what if someone decides to identify as Hitler? Are we going to accept them with open arms?
Some people in the South will.
We've got to draw the line.
Yeah.
So this individual is part of a pet play group in L.A. So they're part of the Pony and Critter Club.
Andrew, recap the show. Don't redo the show.
Yeah.
I'm aware. We didn't get to this in the article. It's interesting. The LA Pony and Critter Club is a group of 6 individuals, and they all have animal masks.
Yeah.
There is a large individual with a pig mask.
Could you, and this is to Raina and everybody in the room here, could you continue your relationship with somebody who's like, hey, this is what I'm into in the beginning stages of it?
Nope.
As long as I'm not the bitch.
Oh, Jesus God.
You're just throwing the ball across the living room?
I kind of think Mike had a point. Was like, if I can always say I don't have to do dishes or take out the trash because I indulge in this.
Yeah.
He has some.
I mean, you got to have
there.
some sort of a sexual pleasure based off of that. I feel like this isn't a psychological. I don't want to discount
this guy's
it again.
trying to make an excuse for something.
I think that this is an attention grabbing sort of
Yeah.
deal.
He's trying to make an excuse for something.
Because there are 5.
He did something bad.
There's 5 levels of transgender going on here. That's not a joke.
And like as you said, it is literally like an onion. There's just layer after layer to this thing.
There's something else in behind all this.
And I do think that leads further into this Mike's statement earlier that this is where some of the LGBT community has to try and grab some of the reins, because if you have no control over it, I know you don't want to have these labels, but if you don't have anything, you have everyone representing you and you have no clear voice, no clear message. And I think that's why the fight has been going on as long as it has. Mm-hmm. Before, when it was they want to pass marriage, that was a clear one thing that everyone on that side could get behind. Mm-hmm. And now, since then, it's just been kind of scatterbrained everywhere with different interests and different desires and different, this is okay, that's not mentalities. I don't think this necessarily helps them. Not trying to demonize one person, but
this takes the idea of a furry and turns that up to fucking 12. And but they're an individual and we gotta respect their decisions. Even it gets weird, some weird shit. I agree. You know what else is weird?
Respect Hitler's decisions?
No. Well, all right, you're right.
You can't always use that excuse either.
Well, I mean, Michael does appeal to the...
Comes out to execution.
Oh, Jesus God.
You know what else is all about execution? Fat bitch pussy. With Cardi B claiming that she got that warm pussy no man would leave for.
That was the least sexy speech thing that any woman has ever said.
What do you think that she was trying to say?
I don't think she was thinking or trying to say anything.
Well, she was driving, so...
Are you sure?
She was in the driver's seat.
Then someone should check the freeways for accidents at that time, because she probably killed a couple of people. That dead-eyed stare, I did not care for her in any way due to her music. As Mike put it, I don't think she's talented in any way. My 2 cents. But with that, I'm amazed she can get dressed in the morning.
She's clearly zonked on something.
She's
24/7.
on something.
24/7.
Right?
Absolutely.
And who describes it like that? Raina, have you ever used that kind of phrase, that language to seduce someone?
I mean, if my husband wants me to talk dirty, I might.
But would you go for that?
I think
not
it's
a
fat bitch pussy.
No fat girl pussy. That's yeah.
I
that's
think
a
it
no.
starts off with a roofie.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, well...
When did Cosby get in the show?
So I think what she was trying to say is thick girls know how to fuck, is what I think she was saying. But the only thing that I could get out of that whole sentence or the whole video is if like somebody is just constantly using a pussy pump and it's engorged.
Bad visual.
Right. It's just terrible visual.
It didn't
It's like something you
translate
would show
well
up
visually.
No.
Yeah.
But I think she's saying like fat bitches are mopeds, right? Fun to ride, but you don't want to be seen riding one. Right?
But her exact argument is, you'll be seen riding this moped because it's so moped-y.
That's why.
Like, that's a terrible, terrible way to describe the situation here.
What is she? So she just makes music, and then she does social media.
Exists.
And stuff, right?
She exists.
She used to be a stripper.
Oh, really?
That's how she started. Yeah, she used to be an exotic dancer.
You got to start somewhere.
Big shocker.
I don't know which one was
now
more
she's
horrifying.
responsible for a small child.
Oh, God. I don't know which one was
No,
more...
for the record, she's not responsible. The nanny is responsible.
That's like trash triplet. That's like the trash triple play right there.
You think the kid's addicted to heroin yet?
Probably born that way. So the question is, though, which is more of a horrifying image? Fat bitch pussy that she's talking about, or Andrew peeing in his own mouth?
Andrew peeing in his own mouth.
I mean, for God's sakes, man.
You know what? You're right.
Oh, how much pee got into your mouth?
Yes, the people need to know.
Like, were you able to, like, swish?
No, it was not a lot. No.
Did you drink it?
No.
What did it taste like?
Immediately. Very not good. Very salty.
Can we put Andrew onto a rocket right now and launch him to the sun immediately, please?
Elon Musk, call me up.
That's how I knew that one was it.
Yeah.
The peeing in the rain was a conscious effort. Like, that story was a conscious effort.
Uh-huh.
I'm drawing a blank on what some of the other ones now.
The gym. Well, my genitals.
The gym? Come on, let's get real. You haven't been there.
In a long time.
That's what I thought Mike was tricking me when he said that story. I could totally see him peeing in his mouth. I can't see him having some hard sexual drive and working out at the gym. So I thought he was tricking me.
Maybe Andrew was trying out for one of those YouPorn videos. You know, like those snuff videos or something like that.
Whoa, I don't think you try out for a snuff film.
You just show up and then you're done.
Yeah.
But that was the only one that I'm like, this is just dumb enough because you didn't have any decision made in that. It's like, what is the one that you would ask the most Andrew-esque question? How the fuck did that happen? And that was number 2.
It was wild.
And actually, I am never going to be surprised with any of your stories from here on out.
And the other 4 stories were fucking nail on the head, legitimate.
So all 4 stories could have definitely been associated with
there's 50% of all of the other stories that is 100% accurate. That's not a joke.
Jesus
My
Christ.
car broke down on the rain, and I had to walk to work.
That one was, I almost bought that one because of the car.
I had to walk 2.5 miles through a dairy farm to get to work when my car broke down.
You live in rural fucking Kansas?
No, so my old retail job, I had to drive down the south highway that goes right by a dairy farm. I hydroplaned off the freeway on that one. The shorts, I've done the short thing before, right? And then the woods porn I found.
The woods porn, yeah.
Where I went into the woods one day.
That seems the most normal that you would.
The other ones were conscious decisions. He chose to pee himself in the rain. He chose to find woods porn. He chose to go to the gym. The only one that's Andrew enough is that, it just happened and I can't explain it. That is a perfect Andrew answer because you were sitting here like, what the fuck?
All 4 scenarios, he chose to be in there. End of story.
No, that's absolutely correct. That's
how I deduced this has got to be the one.
Nail in the coffin.
Mother of God.
And I'm surprised that Kayla was the one to have called in. Apparently Raina and Kayla are coworkers.
Warm, small pussy.
And they can talk about that at work tomorrow.
Right?
She's my
So I have to ask, who turned on who? And then we'll ask who got each other into the Rain Man.
Whoa. Who did what? And for how many cookies?
Warm, small pussy.
Who introduced who to the Rain Man? I'm just curious.
Jesus It was definitely
Christ, man,
me.
you're phrasing.
What is it with you and words?
I can't do words good.
Even after my bad, somebody just.
I don't know how words do.
So, Raina, you introduced Kayla to the Rain Man?
Yes.
Rain Man show. The Rain Man is Dennis fucking
The Rain Man Digital Network.
Yeah, she wants to come over when I'm podcasting and she wants to get herself on the show. I'm like, no, stay away from me.
No, back us on Patreon.
Back the fuck up.
That's what I said.
You can't just show up and piggyback off of somebody. No, you gotta back us on Patreon.
I think she just wants to be in the background and scream penis really loudly. That's like her dream.
You know what? That does actually sound kind of fun. You should absolutely invite her over.
Oh God.
So for a Halloween horror. So for the Halloween horror stories, Thomas, you went first, I went second. Who's up next? Is Michael going to run this one out, or are we going to throw Tony and we're going to do one of his stories?
I think with the number of episodes left, it's just going to be Mike at this point. But I mean, we'll see what he devises for that episode next week.
I'm looking forward to this quite a bit here. Man,
what's going on with Rain Man Superfan?
That I have no idea.
You have to wait for Mike to get back to people on that one.
I think that's still
He's too busy dealing with weirdos at his gym.
Yeah.
Break dancing in front of the mirror. And that's
apparently there are weirdos at the gym that remind him of you.
That's good, I think.
I don't think that's good.
It is, because it means that I'm constantly on Michael's mind.
Oh,
he's thinking of me. It's the thought that
he'll
counts.
quit the gym.
Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for the Rain Man No Talent Autistic Post Show. We will catch you next time. Vic's are real hot right now.